Good morning.
Morning. I'm doing great.
Me too.
Yeah.
Hey, folks, if you don't know Soulful Femme, you should.
That's right.
We got Stephanie and Cheryl with us tonight. Oh my God. You want to talk about some phenomenal music, folks? You got to check them out. They just had their debut album.
Yes.
Oh,
It's really good.
Oh my God. Yeah, we were listening to it.
I like how you start off and feel like we're in church.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right?
That's right. That's right.
Ready to get in.
Here comes the sermon and let's go. I love it.
That's right. They keep us in line. Yeah.
Stephanie, you also go by Stevie, right?
Yes, I do. Yes, that's my nickname. I've had that well, that's my nickname since I was a kid. I didn't even know my name was Stephanie until maybe I was in 7th grade. My report cards, it says Stevie. And my mom says, you know your name's Stephanie, right? I said, huh? Oh, okay. So
that's like my dad. He's from Detroit, and his name is Chuck, and they called him Fred for ever, and he didn't know until he went into the military that his name was Chuck Charles.
Wow. And yours is Farley.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Anyway, so this guy, let me tell you.
Well, this is good.
Anyway.
this is going to be fun.
We're trouble. Just so you know, I don't know if you've gotten any word from everybody else. We are, oh boy.
Yes.
Anyway, thank you guys for being on the show today, by the way.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you for inviting us.
Well, let's talk. I was reading over some of your stuff real quick because I couldn't talk and we researched and stuff. First of all, you guys come from two very different things, Pittsburgh, and then I know Cheryl was you went to Berkeley Music in Boston, right?
150 years.
150
Yes.
years ago. That's awesome.
Yes, 150 years ago.
School.
Yes.
Years ago.
You look
Exactly.
phenomenal, by the way.
Thank you.
Do the great girl.
It's interesting that you come from a separate area and then you came to Pittsburgh. How did you guys meet?
We met during there was a blues concert for women in blues. It was, I think it was Blues Goes Pink. It was for a breast cancer. And I was asked to perform with these other incredible ladies. And Cheryl, of course, was one of the guitarists, female guitarist. And she met me, I met her. We got first rehearsal and I listen to this lady play guitar. I said, wow. And she asked me if I would like to start a band, I guess, with the other guys in the group. And that's how it started. So,
That's amazing.
Nice.
Yeah.
So where is, you definitely got that nice blues. You have such a clean, fresh sound, which is what I love. And you can just get into the sound in the group. Do you guys come from two different styles that you kind of mesh together? Like,
yes.
Kind of explain where your influences and how they kind of connected.
Start, Cheryl. Go you first.
I think that a lot of our early influences are actually the same. Some of them are very similar. Like we both loved Marvin Gaye. We both loved Shaka Khan. We both loved Stevie Wonder. Those are some of our, back in the beginning. I think where we differ is I'm also a original Allman Brothers freakazoid, and that's putting it mildly. And I love big horn bands like Tower of Power and Blood, Sweat and Tears, where Stevie comes from a little bit different background, so it's together, but then it diverges somewhat.
Right.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I more or less come from, I had I guess more of a classical background, and to say that, I started violin and orchestra it's in school. And then my mother played piano. She sang, she did that in the church for years. And for myself, though, we listened to a lot of show tunes, a lot of things like that. But then I come from starting with Motown, and then I moved into rock, blues rock. I'm a prog rock. I'm a crazy prog rock lady. I love prog rock. A lot of folks said, huh? But yeah, that influence, like the similarities, like Cheryl said, with Stevie Wonder, Jimi Hendrix, and those are just the male. Then you get to the female vocalists. I have an eclectic, you know, array of music that I just listen to everything, and I love everything. So, but for my music though, I come from funk, like the big the funk bands, you know, horn bands as well, you know, the Ohio players, you know, the horns on that, you know, yeah, okay, those guys were like, and just things like that. So we're all over the place, honey, all over the map.
Oh yeah,
Love it.
Well, that's the best part, is that you can come from all over the place. It doesn't even have to be exactly what you're doing. You can pull from so many different ways, you know. Like you said, you grew up in the church. You have probably some influences that you bring in there that's drawn in as well. That's really cool. Do you have? I don't know if you had a question, but I can keep going.
Oh, keep going. No, he's not. When he gets on a roll, I just kind of go, all right.
He's on a roll. Don't interrupt. He's on a roll. Okay.
You know it.
Well, I'm always interested when you get two people together to start a band, that how the writing goes. Like, does somebody come up with a concept ahead of time and brings it over, and this is what I'm looking for, and then you mix in? Or do you guys come in to the studio and say, okay, we're going to write now? Or is it both?
I think our process, since this was our first CD as a duo, we have a release CD from the 5-piece that we had. We started as the 5-piece, and then we evolved to a duo based on actually the need to do things our way, to interpret music our way. And we felt like we could best do that as a duo, and then augment when we need to, which is what we do. But the writing process on this project was more, the songs were already written some years ago, some more recent, but everything was already written before we got into the studio. Okay. I think, there was only maybe 2 songs that were written while we were in the studio. And don't forget, COVID this was a 3-year project because of COVID.
Right.
And we started in Studio A, we ended up in Studio B, and we ended up with a Grammy Award-winning producer, Rick Bukowski.
Oh, that's perfect.
He heard our music and he said, "Oh, I would love for you guys to do it here," because he just fell in love with our writing, which, you know. So that being said, for this project, most of the writing was done prior to studio.
Okay.
But now moving on to the next project, which we've been asked to do and record in California, we are coming together as writers.
Where in California, Ed?
Yeah.
We've got 2 different offers coming out. One's near San Diego. You look at him, he's like, "Is that where you guys are at?"
No, we're in California, but it's a long state.
Yeah, we're exactly.
We're like
It's a long state. That's right. It is a long state. That's right. It's a long.
San Diego's about not as far as away as you can get.
8 hours.
Okay.
About 8 hours. Yeah, that's a long state. You go on vacation, one end to the other. Like,
yeah.
Well, plus they want us to come out and do some blues out in California. They're trying to get us out there.
We have some great blues festivals.
Yes.
Yes, that's what we would like to.
That's our eventual goal, is to get into the, we do blues festivals, but we would like to do them, down south, up in New England, California, everywhere.
Get our sound around and I guess take our music message everywhere, I guess you'd say.
That's good. So San Diego, the other spot was where you might be able to go, studio wise?
The guy's name is Barry Levinson, and he goes between Las Vegas and California, and I'm not exactly sure where in California.
Yeah, probably LA.
It might be LA. I know
LA. I think it's most likely LA.
Yeah. The other one is more the Bay Area.
That's
close.
Yeah,
close.
Well, and they want us to come out and play in the Bay Area. I know that's where they want. Yeah. Like
the East Bay, the South Bay, especially like Pleasanton area, San Jose area. They do a lot of music, even a little bit in San Francisco too.
Chico has a festival too with Sierra Nevada.
That's right.
There's a big
there's some
Chico. There's a lot out here.
There's a lot of blues happening out there, and they want us to come out there. So what they're doing is they want us to host like this monster jam, and then they want to get us a string of dates out there. Yes, we would love it. We would
That would
absolutely.
be phenomenal.
We would love it. We'd love to come see you guys play.
Yeah.
Please come. Oh my gosh, we can have a good time.
We
I
would,
can
Get
tell.
into mischief.
we would be there. Oh gosh, that would be so much fun to come see it. It's
Oh,
just
yeah.
such a great thing when we've interviewed
Oh,
somebody
yeah.
and then we get to meet them.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
so we like to go, and everybody that we've interviewed via Zoom or wherever else, our goal is to try and meet them somewhere, somehow, go watch them, go talk to them some way. And that would be just a great opportunity for us to meet you, as if you guys came up to Northern California. But we want to do road trips. So
There
that
you
would be
go.
fine too.
Well, Pittsburgh seems like a pretty good spot too. Because
Yeah.
there seems to be a lot of good music happening in Pittsburgh lately. That's
There really is.
Pittsburgh there's a lot. Yeah, since this summer there's been music festival after music festival. All kinds of music. Jazz, there's a jazz festival coming up. There, of course, then we just did Picklesburg. You heard of Picklesburg yet?
Yeah,
Heinz
I've heard of Picklesburg.
really.
Check that out. It's and we had all these musicians, and every day there was music, 2 different stages on the bridge, Andy Warhol Bridge, and it was great. We did. What was the other one we did?
We did the
the
Pittsburgh Blues and Roots Festival, which
Blues
is
and
a
Roots
big.
Festival, yes.
We also
That's-
did the Millvale Music Festival, which has 250 bands performing.
250 bands performing.
All these
Yeah,
venues, yeah.
different venues and out on the street, in clubs,
Everywhere.
restaurants, and the whole area is just music, and you can walk to see music, eat, whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
It was
Then we-
wonderful.
And then we just finished up the Heritage Blues Festival in
Really?
Wheeling, Virginia, which is a phenomenal, world-renowned blues festival. And we played the main stage. We were very honored to do that this year. I think this CD has really opened some doors for us because it's
Yeah.
been on the charts since June 4th when we
Mhm.
released it. And it's been there ever since.
Right.
So, I
We're
think
we're so happy about that because it was pleasantly surprised. Because what? Really? I mean, we're in the car. I think where were we? We were traveling from somewhere, and somebody said
big.
it's a message. We're in the car screaming, "What? Great! This is great!" And had no idea that this was happening. And we're happy. We're tickled.
Absolutely.
That is awesome.
Are
Yeah.
you I'm gonna keep going
Hold on,
until you
hold
jump
on,
in.
hold on,
So
hold
you
on.
go.
But
Uh-oh.
we just talked about Pittsburgh. We got to give a shout out to Michael Stover. I mean, that
Yes,
guy.
that's true.
He's I don't know
Phenomenal.
how he does what he does.
He's awesome.
And
He's
I'm a
awesome.
very organized person. I told him, I said, I don't know how you do what you do and how.
Award-winning manager. He's won awards for what he does.
Oh my
Yes.
God, let me tell you something. He is an amazing talent. He's very passionate about the acts that he represents.
Yes.
And
I agree.
Guy's amazing.
we're
Yeah.
lucky to
Love him.
have him. Yeah, he's a
Yeah.
great guy. Great
Yeah.
guy.
So, Michael, like always, thank you, sir. We appreciate you as well. Thank you very much. All right. So, a question that I always like to ask is this, because we're all learning a little bit about music everywhere we go and any way we go. And so don't Farley me. Anyway, so with you guys, what bit of advice would you give somebody that's younger to have them work on? Or for us, it's sports, and we always talk about the first step. So for you guys in music, what would be technically your first step to help people become better?
Oh wow.
You laid it on hard on them, man.
Hey,
Whoa.
here we
Yeah.
go. Bam! Let's go.
No. We're fearless. Go ahead, Stevie. You take that.
Okay.
All right, let's go.
Okay, what I'm going to tell those who are young, you got to learn the business of music business, because you can do music. Oh yeah, I'm in the music business, but don't know a darn thing about the business of the
Yeah.
music.
I get it.
And there's a lot that goes to it. And if I had learned that, I wish they had taught me that in school when because you can do this, you can do it, but didn't say anything about there's taxes, there's all other kinds of things you need to know, and it's a business, and to treat it as such. And then there's the music, And unfortunately, you know, you try to think you want to incorporate it all at the same time. But I think the first things first is learn your craft and do it well. Learn your craft, because we send our children to school and we teach that they want to do music, and you can't do it halfway. You got to go all the way with it.
Yeah.
Learn as much as you can. Listen to older folks. Listen to those who've done it, and listen to what they're telling you, because a lot of them have the experience behind them. Come prepared. As a vocalist, some people just say, "Oh, you're just a singer." Don't ever say that to me, ever.
You
Don't
can say
ever.
that to me, but to her, don't try it.
Don't ever do that. No, because I've been in the trenches for quite some time, and I'll tell you what I've learned. I teach voice. Okay, I'm a vocal coach, and but I had to learn, just like everybody else, how to learn how to sing. Just can't just get up there. Some people can, but you have to learn how to sing. You have to learn how, like I said, learn your craft, learn how to work that microphone. And ladies and guys, if you're a vocalist, make sure you have your own equipment. Okay, you can be a guitar player, but you got your fingers, but you need a guitar, right? Okay, to go with it. With your voice, bring your own microphone, have a sound system, learn to use that.
I have a PA, right?
Learn if you want the sound, a sound man is doing the sound of your voice, you want it to be right.
Yeah.
This is what I want, highs, lows, mids, whatever it is you need, but know it. Know what you're talking about.
You know, I'm going to pull a Farley on this.
Oh God, here we go.
Just because she's talking right down. And we'll explain the Chris Farley thing as soon as we end the show. We'll stay on and I'll explain.
I love Chris. I love him.
But it's actually speaking to what you just said. I was at a Lucas Graham concert, and Lucas Graham was talking about he had been there 2 years before, and there was a dead zone on the stage. And he was having a problem with the sound, and he worked with the engineers there about that, and they fixed it. And the next time he came, he was talking about how much they improved, because those kids, and it's at UC Berkeley, and those kids are learning about how in their school and learning about their craft. Yeah. And they learned how to fix it using Lucas Graham as their kind of their person to do that. So when you're talking about learning your craft, that just falls right into somebody who's at that level, but came to Berkeley to help support them. And then these kids learn that craft in what they learned in sound.
Yes.
Right.
So,
Exactly. And a lot, and you know, when I'm not gonna say how long ago I was in school, but it was a long time ago.
Just a couple hours ago, right? You just got out, relax, and I got you.
Right. They taught none of that. None of that.
Man.
But isn't that an amazing thing to be able to figure out and learn? And when you're on stage and understand that you have that and maybe how to correct that, that's all about learning your craft.
Learning your craft. And also I've noticed a lot of vocalists, the band is like screaming and they're like, oh, no. You're trying to compete with, you know, your voice is organic. This is, you know, your instrument is an organic instrument. You can't do that. You just can't. Oh, I broke it. I'm going to go to the shop and get it fixed. That does not happen like that. So, you know, you have to tell the band.
Yes.
Well, that's all part of being professional too.
That's all part of it. But you can be professional, but you just got to know. You have to be able to know these things. Mm-hmm. And a lot of them don't know that, or they are afraid to say something to the band. You know, I'm afraid to say. Now speak up.
Communication is key between the singer and the band as well, right?
Yeah.
If somebody's not saying, "Hey, you need to pick it up," or "Hey, you need to tone it down," it doesn't work. It's not cohesive. It
doesn't work, and you want to get musicians that listen to the vocalists. You got to watch the vocalists, what they're doing. It's amazing that there's so much that goes into live performances, and is in a difference in recording studio. I love being in the recording studio because if you really mess up, you're going to hear a whole bunch of stuff. But it puts you to the test.
I get you.
It has to be right, and you have to convey what you're trying to say to people and a recording as opposed to I'm live and I'm showing you, I'm feeling this song, but you got to put that on the record as well. That's a little difficult sometimes.
Yeah. You both have performed, you know, obviously you guys have been in music for many years. Now that you're out performing again after the whole craziness that we're, you know, and still really kind of going through, what do you feel about the audiences now as opposed to before? Because I know going out recently to some shows, people are a lot happier at shows than they were in the past.
Oh, yeah.
But they're afraid to kind of be like they used to be, where they'd come right up the stage and they start dancing. A lot of people are sitting until they get to a certain point. I noticed that bands that have said, get up and dance, then people will dance. It's like they almost need permission.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you tell them. Yeah, you can dance if you want to. You can dance. We have to say that these days now. Yeah.
Yeah, it's different, but they're happy at the same time. They're just glad to be out doing stuff.
I think before COVID, you know, it was just the status quo and there were live bands everywhere. And then we went through that period. And when they started to open up festivals and clubs, you know, people are still a little leery, especially now it's coming back where they're closing some clubs and canceling some festivals. But people were just, I think they took it for granted.
Yes.
All that we could do, right? Whether it was music or go to the grocery store or just whatever, we took it for granted. Yes. And I think for Stevie and I, that was a really good time to, you know, we were dedicated to finishing this CD before we moved on to the next project, because we had been asked to record in California. We're like, we want to finish this project first.
Oh, good call.
This was first and foremost, right? Because we really believed in this project.
Yeah.
From the moment we decided from the second we decided that the hymn was going on it and it was bookending it till what filled in between. And so, yeah, audiences now really seem to appreciate it more. Yeah. Some of them, depending on how much they drink, you know, they're up there dancing. I think
that's anytime.
The festivals that we played, you know, the festivals are outdoors, so it seems like a little safer, right? People are more relaxed in an outdoor setting, but in the club setting, it's starting to get just a little bit, you know, because of all
getting
this.
Better.
Coming back.
It's getting better, and everyone's so appreciative. So we missed you. We missed live music. We missed it, and we missed them too. So
yeah.
You know that somebody that I worked with in pastors training talks about the rhythm of life, and music is the vital part of that. So I believe that that's a big part of being out there, seeing and hearing music live is a big part of that, of happiness and bringing the rhythm of life back. And I love and appreciate how you said that we appreciate it more, where before it was just a standard. Mm-hmm. So
it was a standard, right? In the blues festivals, and we noticed too. We played Pittsburgh Blues Festival before. We've done Heritage before, but this year it was different. People just seemed to be happier, you know, kinder, more excited to be where they were. We were so excited to be where we were.
Yeah, right.
Because we never knew. We didn't know, like, is this ever gonna happen again? All of us. COVID kind of put, whether you were Tommy Castro, Joanna Connor, Bernard Allison, Stevie and Cheryl, it kind of put everybody on the level playing field. It just leveled us all. Right. And I think a lot of us took advantage of that downtime to write, to record.
A lot of people were recording. Oh my goodness, yes. A lot of
people are just become recording artists, right? They're not really performing out there, but they're putting out content.
Yes.
Right.
Exactly.
So I want to go into the recording artist thing. And it's not a thing, so excuse my verbiage. But we've talked to a few guests that have sat there and said there are recording artists and there are performers, live performers.
Yep.
Now, do you agree with that, or do you think that it's kind of what do you guys think?
Well, I could tell you what I think. I think to a certain extent that's true.
Okay.
From being a studio musician myself, I know a lot of musicians that they don't perform out. Mm-hmm. Okay, they're incredible in the studio, and they're more comfortable in the studio, Okay, it's just their personality type. They'd rather go there, read off a chart, play that straight out, and that's what they love. I understand it because Stevie and I both work in the studio. I think a really prime example, because they didn't perform for a very long time live, would be Steely Dan. Steely Dan was more in the early days.
Yeah, I remember.
Those are all studio guys.
Studio guys. Yep.
Right.
There was a lot of that going around though back then. There's a lot of musicians that were all studio, and then they decided, oh, let's try to do this live. I think I agree with Cheryl. It's a little of both. I think there are those who I love the studio, and I love live performance as well.
Yeah.
And there are those who just are more content with just doing the recording.
I get it.
Session workers, they love that, and they do well. A lot of them do very well. Even some singers, which I've done. They.
Do you think for some of those folks that just like to stay in the studio, do you think that being on stage is outside of their comfort zone and that's why they wouldn't do it?
For some, I believe for some maybe they haven't had, I guess, maybe they put themselves in that box, I guess, and don't want to come out of it. And then there are those who were in that box, and then somebody said, hey, why don't you just try going out? And then they, oh, I like it. And they can do both. But yeah.
And then there's Stevie and I, who, when we hit the stage, it's kind of like, bam, in your face.
We're kind of in your face.
We're in your face.
We're in your face.
Yes. Yeah, we're in your face.
I'm
here.
Yeah.
That's it.
I love it.
That's it. Yeah, you need to check out that Colorado. We did a show in Colorado. That it's on YouTube, I think. What was the Colorado show? What was that?
Colorado Women in Blues.
Colorado Women in Blues. And I guess our girl, Bridget Kelly Fix, she asked us to do it, and she'd never really heard us, but we were friends and all that, like Facebook friends. She had no idea. And we got off the stage, said we weren't ready for that.
Well, we're here.
I don't even know.
Have to deal with it.
Yeah, she was like, I don't even know.
We had no idea. So, well, yeah.
I'm not exactly sure what I just saw, but I know.
Yeah, we aren't shy on stage. I guess we're not shy. Well, we're not that shy, period. But we're on stage. It's like a little bit, yeah.
We're there.
Yeah.
Let me ask this. I've never asked this before. But you guys, the more youthful, how do I say this? The content of today, right? It's all about marketing somebody as opposed to, I know. I knew I was going to hit a chord when I said that, right? That's why I didn't figure out how I was going to say it.
Oh, here it comes. We got that. All right, here we go.
But in saying that, are there any people in the youth coming up that you do appreciate what they're doing and providing, and that you can see? Yeah, see, she's like, no, all the new stuff's really bad.
Oh,
but
no.
Trying to see if there might be something connecting.
Just a couple.
Oh,
go, Cheryl, you first.
Okay, for me, the new stuff. First of all, I love Marcus King. I love Alan Stone. I love Larkin Poe. First time I heard Larkin Poe, I fell in love with them. Their style, their vocals, their harmonies, the style of music that they do. I love Larkin Poe. Okay, so there's a lot of talent. Kingfish is incredible. Yeah. There's a lot of young kids out there. We're big fans with, oh my God, my brain's going dead. That's part of being old, is your brain goes dead. Cat Riggins. We're a huge fan of Cat Riggins. Okay, there's a lot of people out there in the blues. I mean, Stevie probably would have more outside.
I'm looking at not just blues. I'm looking at everything, not just everybody. The like my girl Lizzo. I'm digging her. I'm digging where she's coming from. Okay,
okay.
Yeah, I'm listening to what's his name? Jean Baptiste. I listened to him, Jean Baptiste. You know, there are some who can sing and they're not auto-tuned.
Thank you. That's what I was trying to go away from in the wording, as well as the auto-tune marketing world of what music has become. And you turn it on and you're just like, this is just filth, and people are all over, and the kids they just go nuts about it.
They go nuts about it 'cause they don't know any better. They don't know any better. That's it. They just don't know any better. They don't, because this is what they're coming. This is what they're learning, and it's like, and then you get the kid, but then you get those young ones who actually, you know, are listening and studying their music and say, I'm sitting there saying, where are these kids going to go? Where are they going to play? What is going to happen to them? Because they're passionate. I could see it, and you can nurture it and let it grow. And but what are they going to do? What are they going to do?
Yeah.
So I was watching this documentary on Netflix, and it was with Mark Ronson. At least I think it was Netflix. With Mark Ronson.
Winehouse. Yes.
In regards to the auto-tune. And the auto-tune was a derivative of actually sonar. And that's how they came up with it. And it was total fluke to utilize the auto-tune and to get that sound.
Yes.
So just an FYI, I thought I would throw that out there, because somebody that I really like that does the auto-tune is T-Pain. And he got ostracized, in my opinion, for utilizing that, but he can sing, and people don't realize that. And I think that somebody that has a really good voice doesn't need to utilize the auto-tune, but T-Pain went that way and he wanted to try something different. So I don't know.
Well, you know, there's two sides to every coin, right? So you're going to get pros and cons to every artist, every style, every genre, everything, right?
Yes.
But I mean, you didn't have to auto-tune Gladys Knight.
Oh God, no. Nope.
Aretha Franklin,
Diana
Nancy
Ross.
Wilson, Barbara Streisand. You didn't have to auto-tune them. I'm like,
no.
And I
think Cheryl's like, what?
This guy, Mariah or Whitney.
That exactly. You did not have to auto-tune those ladies.
No.
And a lot of these artists, stars, or whatever, these, you know, up there, they're auto-tuned. I'm saying, excuse me, get them in the studio. Okay, fix it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then when you go to their big, huge stadium concerts, and they're just lip syncing the whole time.
Yeah.
Because they're dancing around. You cannot dance like that and sing the way that they're singing.
No, not really. No, maybe a few breaths here and there. Have the thing with the mic on the side.
Yeah.
Sing a little bit. Stop. Then okay, I'm dancing again. Start lip syncing. I don't know.
It doesn't happen like that. No. I love these two.
I do too. Oh my God. I'm having so much fun.
I know. We're hitting it top there, though.
Hitting the ball.
So we want to ask you, who would you guys like to give a shout out to?
Yeah, good idea.
Oh,
Hey, Cheryl.
For me, first of all, Rick Wachowski for this CD, because without his ear and his eyes and his vision, he just believed in our vision. So Rick Wachowski, it goes out there. And to all that believed in us, you know, from Joanna Connor and Bernard Allison, who graced this CD with their talent. I mean, if you listen to them playing on the CD, it's amazing.
My favorite is Joanna when she did when I did 40 Under, because I like blues rock too, so that's kind of rocky type of song. She tore it up.
She tore it up.
The girl, my gosh! But I'd like to give a shout out to, including Rick, but the musicians who performed. Mark Byers, who actually was Nisi. Nisi, was the executive producer, I believe, on it, right, Cheryl? And but the musicians, we have Pittsburgh musicians, a lot of Pittsburgh musicians on the CD, and a lot of them were accomplished musicians, and they Chuck Anderson, Howie Alexander, John Hall, even who else is on this show? Who? Brian Edwards.
So they, you know, in that process of choosing those musicians is something that Stevie and I really work hard at. Here's a song.
Yeah, we did. That was rough.
Yeah, we don't blanket a CD and say we're going to hire these 5 guys and that's it. No, it's tailored per song.
Yeah.
That's what we do.
One guy, but he performed a lot on a lot of songs. Chuck Anderson. He played bass, keys,
Drum.
and drums on
There's
several
some
albums.
people that they just can play everything, huh?
And just for the record, Chuck Anderson played the B3 on the hymn.
Yeah, Chuck Anderson did the
He's
B3
an
on the hymn.
amazing musician, amazing musician.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Good guy,
we
too.
want to talk forever, but we got a time limit. But
But we got to shout out
we got a
to
shout out on our
our
own.
sponsor, Anchor by Spotify. Thank you for sponsoring us on our podcast. We also would like to thank you two for sponsoring us as well. Thank you all. Thank you, folks.
Thank you for Soul Femme.
Yeah, Soulful
And
Femme.
we can't wait. We want to see you live, so that's gonna
Yes.
have to happen. So
We're gonna go.
excited.
We're gonna come. We're gonna say what up with Rob and Chris because
That's right.
this was the show, man. This was
You
the-
know.
We
I
love
love
you
it.
guys. You guys are amazing. And
Thank
what
you,
up? We
guys.
will catch you guys on the next show.